Tri-State Sports Guys, Buffalo Bills special.
It is.
I don't like how we're going so fast through these intros. You're just not happy about talking about Buffalo.
Well,
The Buffalo Bills.
yeah,
Yes.
We told Tony Bills somehow won. It would be an all-Bills show. He requested a top 10 Bills of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. Now,
Wait a minute. I thought it was top the last 10 years.
well, I thought it was all time, and then Tony tells me.
It was all time. It was all time.
But then he didn't put anyone of all time. So it's like, who's a historian? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the reality is, in my mind, the only good Bills were in that 5-year span. But so I really struggled to get someone who was old.
You go ahead.
Number 10, I'm just going to give the guy a no because I don't care about the other old guys. Eric Moulds. He was good for like 5 years, but he was real good.
He was actually my number 7. I really like Eric Moulds.
Number 9. The only reason I remember this guy, I swear to you, is I had his football card, his rookie card. Tight end Pete Metzelaars. Somehow
Yes,
Pete
good.
Metzelaars in that whole offense is the third leading receiver in Bills history.
He
Now,
played-
how that is possible?
He was on a team for like 12, 13
Yeah.
years. He was a beast.
Number 8.
I had his
He
rookie card.
Metzelaars.
Yeah. Number 8. My favorite Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of favorite Bills. Steve Tasker. The guy made the
My
Pro
number
Bowl.
9.
That's
The
my-
guy made the
he's my
how
number eight.
how was he only? I mean, I actually thought he should be higher than 8. But the guy
Wait,
made
but the guy. I don't even know what position
the
he
guy
played.
made the Pro Bowl
Oh,
7
Who,
times.
you don't know?
No, listen. He
played
was
gunner.
the best.
He
He
was
was
a gunner.
he was the best.
Exactly.
But what
He was
position?
GU.
But that's-
GU.
he was yeah, he wasn't.
He didn't play anything. I don't know if he played
Well, they
offense.
used
or
to
he
put
didn't-
him at.
I think he played wide receiver.
They used to put him at wide receiver, and once in a while they would put him at like free safety on defense. That
Yeah.
man has so many concussions. He had to put. Remember back in the day, they used to, that extra helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people used to walk around with his shell on it, he had it.
He's
that
the
man
only.
was
I mean,
concussed.
he's a guy. When you put this list out, he's one of the first guys out of all the greats. I said this guy Steve Tasker because he's the only special teamer who's not like a kick returner or a punt returner.
7-time Pro Bowl.
The guy,
a maniac.
he's like he made this. He is like the Mariano Rivera of gunners. He really is.
Number
exactly
7. And this
I
is
get
the
what we
hater.
all had Steve Tasker.
What's amazing when I think about this list is these next 5 guys, 6 guys,
Yeah.
are unbelievable. And it's amazing they didn't win one
Nothing.
Super Bowl. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this guy was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Number 7, by far the worst player on this list of these next few guys, Cornelius Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was a stud.
Who's my number 6? He was a stud.
He was a stud. But he wasn't nearly as good as James Lofton was a wide receiver. The guy's in a Hall of Fame, James Lofton, former
I
Raider,
didn't
by
have
the way.
James Lofton because he only played for the Bills for 3 years.
Yeah,
there in
I had-
Raider.
I
I got
had-
James
he was-
Lofton.
he
3 or
was-
4 years.
I got
like
nothing
that.
but respect for him.
Cornelius Bennett though, he used to come out with the Under Armour, the spider web on it.
Yeah.
Sick.
No, I remember. No, Cornelius
Awesome.
Bennett. I thought of James Lofton, but did he go in the Hall of Fame as a Bill?
No. I think
He only was there for 3 or 4 years. I mean, he was there during their.
When was he? He played with the Packers, didn't he?
Played for the Packers or Raiders.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, played for the Raiders. and the
Number
Packers.
5.
Maybe the Packers he went in as. I think.
Yeah, I don't know who he went, but I don't. I mean, I think of him as a Bill because he was great during that stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think he had enough time on here to make my list, my Bills list.
Number 5, Andre Reed. The guy, he was what a number 1 wide receiver should be, because you knew the ball was coming to him, and he always found a way to get open.
He's
And
my number 4. I mean, that guy is. You put him in there as one of the best wide receivers of all time, let
Yeah,
alone.
he always found a way to get open. Always.
number 4, Jim Kelly. Guy never won anything. Never won anything, but
But look, with the 2 years before he got there was back-to-back 2-14 seasons, and within a few years, I mean, granted, we're gonna, all these guys are around him, but it starts with the quarterback. Mm-hmm. You look at how many times they made the playoffs over that stretch from whatever it was, 90 through 98. I mean, they made it every year. They were unbelievable, and it's all Jim Kelly. His career records through the roof.
I pretty much invented the offense.
The K-gun.
Yeah.
and he used to call his own plays. That was like,
like
way
Peyton
before
Manning.
exactly,
Yeah.
way before Manning.
He's one of those guys. If he had just won one of those 4, he'd be one of those guys you would talk about in the.
Scott Norwood, blame it on him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He'd make your list.
No, I almost put him there to make Tony mad.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, number 3, Thermal Thurman. Probably would have been higher if he could have produced that one time in the Super Bowl. And you can't even argue, Tony.
No,
the guy
no.
couldn't find his helmet once, and that was a sign of things to come. But he was Marshall Faulk before Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. And they got him in the second round. I had him 5 and Kelly 3. I had Kelly ahead of him, but both of them, I mean, they were studs. But
Yep.
Number 2, Big Bruce Smith. The guy dominated, and he was another guy. Like, you knew, passing down, watch out for Bruce Smith. He's coming around the edge, and they still never seemed to stop him. Now, I'm sure having Cornelius Bennett and those other guys didn't hurt, but he was a stud.
Yeah.
Number 1, I said it about Lawrence Taylor. Terrible guy, but great player, O.J. Simpson.
yeah, You get off of a murder rap and then still go to jail for 50 years for another completely separate crime of
Man,
armed
shot.
kidnapping, whatever. I had Bruce Smith and OJ flip-flopped. I had OJ too. And
That
OJ,
was OJ too. Come on.
well, I think Bruce Smith is just that good. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
OJ is one of the greatest running backs of all time. Of all time.
But he's in jail.
and Bruce
He's in
Smith is
jail
one of the
now.
best
He's-
defensive ends of all time.
I think OJ is much better.
I think I could name better. I think I could name 5 running backs that are better than OJ. I don't think you can name 5 defensive ends that are better than Bruce Smith.
I don't know.
I don't think you could. Well, I mean, I don't know. Who did you have? I mean, we can go through your list. There's only one guy that I had. I had Daryl Talley on the list.
So did I.
I didn't have Pete
I
Metzelaar.
couldn't think of Daryl Talley's name.
Daryl
I had
Talley.
Daryl
That's why I
Talley.
put
My
him on
number,
that.
my number 7 was I had Daryl Talley at 7.
I
I
had
had
him
OJ 1. And I had
You had
Bruce
OJ
Smith
and
too.
Bruce Smith
Yeah.
too?
I could have flipped him. I think I did flip him when I was actually making the list. I went back and forth.
I tried to find a
Yeah.
lineman.
I got a lineman. My number 10 is a lineman.
Who?
Who's that?
Kent Hull. He
I
was
had
the center.
I had Reuben Brown because he made like 8 Pro Bowls.
Yeah. Kent Hull played. He was the center in Buffalo from like
That was when they were good, right?
86 to like
6. Oh my god.
yeah from 86 to like 96, 97.
Yeah, yeah.
He was the anchor of the line. I mean, he used to run around with the cut.
You really-
tape
I mean-
on his fingers.
I can't
OJ
believe you
Simpson
don't.
ran for 2,000 yards in 14 games.
I know, and then he had another 1,850-yard season in 14 games. So during a 16-game schedule, he would have 2,000-yard seasons. I completely get that, but I just think Bruce Smith. I mean, I could sit here and name other running backs better. I could
Who
name.
was better? Just out of curiosity. I don't know.
Walter Payton's better than him. I think Emmitt Smith is better than him.
I don't think Emmitt Smith is
I
better.
don't know.
I don't think.
I don't think Emmett. I go Walter Payton though. I don't think Emmett.
I'm sure Walter Payton. Jim Brown is better than him, probably.
Jim Brown is
I don't
better
think
than him.
Emmett is.
You don't think Emmitt Smith is? I think Barry Sanders is clearly better than him.
Yes.
I think Barry Sanders is the best running back of all time.
People think that Barry Sanders was just a smaller O.J. Simpson.
The better Roger Simpson. I mean, he played on a team with no other talent. He was
Yeah.
able to get them to the playoffs year in and year out.
I think the juice.
Go ahead, name some defensive ends. I mean, you could start with Reggie White, and then where do you go from there?
Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas. I was gonna say.
I would call him an outside linebacker, Derek Thomas.
See, well,
He
I
stood up
can't-
the whole time.
I
He
don't
was
know.
never down at
I
3
can't
points
argue
in.
one way or another. I can't argue one way or another in that argument. I don't.
Yeah, I would say he was an outside linebacker. I'd put
See,
him.
to me, he's at the end, but I could see your point. Either way, OJ.
I mean, but
OJ
either way,
and
it's
Bruce-
good to have 2 guys on. I mean, you talk about the Jets list. We're not gonna have anybody that's Bruce Smith or O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Raiders would, but that's all right.
Oh, that's right. They have Tim Brown.
Got a lot of studs.
Your boy.
I'll
And
tell
no
you right now,
rings.
Tim Brown will make your top 100. You hate him.
Tim Brown would make my top 10, but he would not make my top 3. I hate that guy.
You really do hate a guy. That's
I hate that guy.
He's so overrated. What? You know what? This is Bill's day.
It really is. And I'll be honest. I mean, you look at these guys are all very, very good.
But that's what I'm saying.
They're studs and
Think
no
about-
rings.
we do have a gunner on our list. All 3
Yeah,
of our
but-
list.
but I'm not
And then
even
when you get to the
think
top
about
6 or
something-
7, these are all.
Those dudes all played together and they
Yeah.
didn't win a Super Bowl. They played together in the primes of their career at the same time. It wasn't like they overlapped at the end of their
I
careers.
think as
they
good
all played together.
As good as they were together, the AFC at that time was not a lot of competition in it.
Yeah.
When you went to the NFC, you had the Giants, you had the 49ers, you had Cincinnati Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But you just had
Yeah, but these guys are great. These are all-time greats.
Yeah, but I don't.
I know,
think,
but that I mean, you had the Cowboys back then. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So I mean, who did they lose their first Super Bowl to? Obviously, they lost to the Giants in
Washington,
'91.
they got smoked
Cowboys
by Washington.
And Cowboys twice.
Yeah.
And that Cowboys team was the best team
but they were
in my
beating the
generation.
Cowboys. They were beating the Cowboys
I
in
know.
half.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
only
But
by
those
throwing by
Cowboys
3
were
points.
fantastic. They had just
Yeah.
probably the best offensive line in the history of football, plus all their weapons, plus they had a very good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they just happened to be in an era with another fantastic team. They should have won one of them, but, I mean,
They should have beaten the Giants.
should have been. They were a much better team than Giants.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, they definitely were.
It was a good list.
Well, we'll see where they end up in 2012. Maybe Fitzpatrick makes this list in a couple years.
Yeah.
They're going to be 8-8.
Oh, here we go.
We'll be back with the 5 and 10. We're the Tri-State Sports Guys.